Brand new Gold Pride cards are here from MST TV. I'm big 30% of you that have not smashed the living crap out of that subscribe button. Smash it so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. I'll leave a link down below to the original video, but I wanted to give my input on these. So, you know, you have a little bit of what I'm thinking here. So the new Psychic Monster is a level 5. I cried on the inside because I wanted this to be, you know, e-telliable, but alright. Standard thing, if your life points lower than your opponent, you can special summon it from your hand, luckily. And then during the main phase quick effect, you can fusion summon a Gold Pride Fusion monster using monsters from your hand or field as material. Hey Konami, I don't know if you know this or not, but you know, given, you know, the ability to fuse from the deck for Gold Pride, I think would have been a pretty unique effect, honestly. Cool thing is, it's a level 5 that can special summon itself. Is that it? Is that all we care about with this? It's a level 5 that lets you fuse to make the insane fusion card that is all that I think this entire archetype is really going to amount to here. Okay. Sorry. I don't know what I was expecting. But alright. So we got the Gold Pride Fusion, the Pinballer here. It's going to require Roll and Baller, so you got to use the Psychic level 5 to make this, plus one or more Gold Pride monsters. On Fusion Summon, you can equip face of monsters your opponent controls to it up to the number of fusion materials used for. Alright, well that's actually pretty good. It's a quick effect to fuse via the other guy for the main phase, so it does technically give you 2 interruptions, I guess. And then if your life points are lower than your opponent's, this effect's activated effect cannot be negated. I mean, they'll just negate the fusion summon of it. Once returned during your end phase, the previous effect was activated. This turn it goes back to the extra deck, and then you can summon out the roller ball from your deck or graveyard. It's a 3K that gets to equip the opponent's monsters. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's a pretty cool interruption, but I don't think that this is going to see real, you know, crazy application here. And then we got the Gold Pride Chariot Carry. It's going to be entirely generic. I will give Konami some credit with this. The fact that they did make an entirely generic rank 3 Burning Abyss players are excited right now. So are Phantom Knight players. Just detach one, search for a Gold Pride spell card from your deck to your hand. If your life points are low, your opponent can send a Gold Pride monster from your deck to the graveyard. Alright, well that's pretty decent. Alright, you can only activate the previous effect of Gold Pride Chariot Carry once per turn, and then during the end phase, it goes back to the extra deck, and then you can special summon a Captain Carry from your deck or graveyard. You know, inherently, the only thing I care about here is it searches for a Gold Pride spell, and then if your life points lower, you get to dump something. I think that that's pretty decent. If I do recall, though, doesn't Leon have like a pretty devastating like condition on its effect to special summon it out? So that might not be the greatest thing in the world, but generic Exceed monsters are generically something very good. Like Phantom Knights, I think, could have some pretty decent synergy with that, depending on your build, or, you know, Punk, actually. Now we have the Gold Pride that came out of nowhere. This is just a wild monster appears. Just let you special summon a Gold Pride from your hand or graveyard. Then your opponent can special summon a monster from their hand or graveyard, but negate its effects. Why did you have to give the opponent the ability to summon a monster off of this? That's like my biggest complaint about this card is, oh boy, you know, turn 1, you can go ahead and do something. Well, now my opponent can special summon some bad combo piece from their hand, and then they can combo up with it next turn. You know, there's a lot of graveyard floating effects that, you know, can trigger when sent to the graveyard, and this just feels like one of those things that, I don't know, it's also on a quick play. I feel like if they wanted an extender, if you'd given me the ability to summon from the deck and the opponent from the hand, this card would have actually been kind of crazy in my personal opinion. I would have actually been very happy with that. Next up is the Gold Pride Pedal to the Metal. Oh no, it's an attack modifier. Oh boy. Target a Gold Pride monster you control till the end of the turn. It gains 500 attack. It cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects, and it cannot activate its effects. Is this just Eagle Booster, but for Gold Pride? During the end phase, if a face of Gold Pride monster or monsters you control was destroyed by battle card effect, you can set this card from your graveyard. This is just Eagle Booster for the deck. As long as this is searchable, I guess this would be okay, but I feel like, once again, Konami took a look at this and said, hey, you know, let's pull the best card out of Sky Striker, and let's make it not be able to be destroyed by battle card effects, but it can't activate its own effects. Why'd you have to give it that? Too fair. I think Konami tries too hard out here to make some of these cards very, very fair. Next up is the Gold Pride Better Luck Next Time. When this card is activated, you can add a Gold Pride monster from your deck to your hand, and if you do, lose life points equal to its attack. All right, now this is what I'm talking about. Another secret. This stupid deck took up 2 secret rare slots in Syac. Okay, sure. So much for this being budget. And then let's see here. If a face of Gold Pride monster you control that was special from the extra deck returns to the extra deck, you can draw a card. Well, understandably, I mean, it searches, you get the additional effect to get something to trigger back. For what it's worth, and I mean for what it's really worth here, since this is a continuous, actually this is just Tenki. I can't wait to get this MS Teeter Cosmic Cyclone on activation and just look at my opponent and go, you got me. But I think at this point in time we have 6 searchers for the archetype, 7 if you want to count terraforming, right, for the field spell. So we're getting places here. Then we have the Gold Pride. It's neck and neck. So you can target 1 Gold Pride you control or 1 Gold Pride card in your graveyard except for neck and neck and return it to your hand. If your opponent controls a monster with a higher attack than your life points, oh boy, you can banish this card and 1 Gold Pride from your graveyard. Special one other Gold Pride monster from your extra deck that mentions the banished monster's name. You can only use each effect of its neck and neck once per turn. I guess that's kind of cool. Oh man, if my opponent has a monster with a higher attack points than my life points, that's not going to happen. My personal honest opinion out of the archetype. How many secret rares? We're at 4 secret rares now for this deck. That's a lot. You already had to previously pick up some. You already were paywalled behind a Starlight rare as well if you wanted to upgrade the deck. I almost am kind of wondering if the Chariot's going to end up as a Starlight slot here too. It kind of seemed that they like to follow that pattern of particular power-ups. And I get that, honestly. It's something else at the end of the day. But overall, does it have potential? I mean, the former ladder of the deck did see success with Punk. I think that you still will play Punk cards in the deck. The fusion is definitely the glue that holds this deck together, that's for sure, now. But I want to see what the World Exclusive does when they actually give support to this from Japan. So, what do you guys think? Please, leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think. I'll see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Peace out. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.